Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another post-match show following absolute dog shit performance of West Ham against Brighton as we fall 2-0. Starting out the season, 3 losses and yet to score a goal. As always, I am your host, Chris, and as always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Irish Tommy. Mate, how you feeling?
Really pissed off. Really pissed off. I knew this was coming. I predicted we would lose because Moyes is utterly predictable. I knew what it was going to do. Utterly predictable formation, utterly predictable for starting 11, utterly predictable tactics. The same ones that have failed against Brighton previously. And
Yeah.
yet Moyes decided, let's do the same thing again.
Definition
I saw
of
it coming.
insanity.
Yeah, when I saw the team sheet, it was exactly as I expected, and I knew Brighton were going to beat us. It's as simple as that. I knew it was coming. That was just absolutely clueless from Moyes, to be honest, and I don't think there's any excuse for it. To do that again, the definition of insanity, as you say, is to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results.
Yeah.
It was entirely predictable that Brighton would beat us again. I saw it coming, and it's exactly what we got. It was a woeful performance. Obviously, the players have to take their share of responsibility for their performances on the pitch, but ultimately, this falls with Moyes. Graham Potter, I guarantee you, if you'd have sat down with Graham Potter anytime during the week and said, show me the formation and personnel and tactics that West Ham will employ, and he could have told you everything that you saw today.
Yeah.
And so, Graham Potter didn't even have to think about this game, really.
No.
He was saying, we've done this to them before, and they'll do the same thing. Moyes will do the same thing he always does, and we'll do what we always do to them.
Yes, and I completely agree with you. I can't take away from anything you're saying. The fact of the matter is that the players on the pitch today were just shocking. I don't think I could point to a single person where I saw a true positive. Ben Rama maybe for a couple of his runs, but that's about it. I mean, our defense is woeful. Zuma's got me questioning myself for him a little bit. Suchek is as awful as ever. It doesn't make sense.
The players are not stupid. That's the problem. The players are not stupid. I think they probably feel much the same way about what Moyes is doing as we do. They can see that it needs changing. There's players there that we've brought in that Moyes comes up with this horse shit every time he signs a player. Oh, he's not ready. He needs bedding in. Fuck off. No, they don't. Other teams are going out with 4 and 5 new players starting at the beginning of the season, and they're doing just fine. This bullshit from Moyes, where he has to leave players on the bench for a few weeks before he'll actually trust them to come in and start games, is absolute bollocks. And all of our players know it's bollocks. And so they're seeing the same shit that wasn't working in the second half of last season. It's gone. Even Moyes said it's gone stale. Says it's gone stale, and then still does the same thing. Why are you playing stale? Stale formation, stale players, stale everything, and he still keeps doing it. It's fucking retarded.
It really boggles the mind here. I love Moyes, but God, have I been having questions a lot more lately.
Yeah, do something different. Give Potter something to think about. Give their players something they weren't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing you could say that they probably weren't expecting was Scamacca and Antonio both on the pitch at the same time. But
that's too late by then.
Yeah, it was 25 minutes. The problem is when you only play kind of creative in that kind of situation for 25 minutes, that means the opponent's playing for 90. I mean, you can't win that way.
Moyes fucking stood and watched that for 45 minutes. The entire first half and did nothing. And then to add insult to injury, he didn't make any changes at the break. He kept doing it even into the second half. And then it takes him over an hour before he says, oh, maybe I should do something here. And by that time, we're 2-0 down. Our players are despondent. If Brighton have their tails up and are cruising, and it's just too late to fucking turn it around. It's a joke, an
It
absolute
really is.
joke what Moyes did today. We're the only team in in the 4 professional leagues in English football that have not scored a goal.
Yeah, and it's not even been close. Granted, granted Ben Rama should have been against Forest, but take away that away. We shouldn't even be in this kind of situation. And that kind of leads into my question. When is the appropriate time to ring the panic alarm? Because if you look ahead, we have Viborg this week, I believe. But we also have away to Villa, home to Tottenham. There is a realistic chance, especially playing like this, we may lose the first 5 matches of the season.
Yeah, and I think alarm bells are starting to ring for me already. And not just because it's nothing to do with it only being 3 games. It's because this goes back further than that.
Yeah.
I think this goes way back to the second half of last season, where you could see this was beginning to happen. We were just getting kind of progressively kind of worse and more stale,
Yeah.
and more predictable, and it was all just starting to come apart a little
We
bit.
chalked it up
And
last season to just playing time and or exhaustion.
yeah, we were trying to make excuses for it last season because of Moyes didn't have the players he wanted on the bench, so the first 11, there were maybe 15, 16 players that had to do it all last season, and we thought, if we can get a better squad in this season, then that will improve that. But that excuse can't be made. I mean, you first 3 games, you're not tired.
No.
It's nothing to do with tiredness.
Yeah.
It's just Moyes putting out the same players in the same formation with the same tactics every time, even when it clearly is not working. So a Villa away next week, even like Villa are really poor at the moment too. But so if we go and lose there, I mean, that's when I think the alarm bells will really go off in my head. They're ringing a little bit already, but they'll get much louder if we lose next week,
Yeah.
and that's entirely possible. We're not threatening whatsoever. We're not scoring
No.
goals, and
It's
he'll do the same shit. I saw today when the fucking team came out. I said, I can't believe he's still playing Socek. Socek is fucking dog shit,
yeah,
and
he
he's
he
still
can he can
playing
fuck
him.
off. He can fuck off. I
Antonio, a fucking striker who doesn't score goals, still starts up front every fucking week,
yeah,
and
over
we've got
Skamaka.
a 40 million pound striker who does score goals on the bench that you won't play.
I mean,
It's a
literally,
fucking joke.
Moy says, "Oh, he needs time." He comes into the or starts for the Viborg match on Thursday and scores right away. Why aren't we playing or Cornet? Why aren't we trying something? With the addition of Kerner, this was the same exact starting 11, I believe it was, for the first 3 matches. You're dead on right. You can't. If you're just going to throw the same old shit at the wall and hope that it sticks, it's happen. Like, I don't know what more evidence Moyes needs, but it's not going to happen.
It's dried out shit. It's not going to stick. It's just going to bounce off the wall.
Yeah.
Moyes is still just fucking doing it again. Like, I think, look, I'm not one to knee jerk react because I am pissed off about what I saw today.
Yeah.
But I think there has to be a question about Moyes now. I'm not saying he gets the sack right now, but
Yeah.
I think
It can linger
he
in the
should
back of
be
your
feeling
mind.
the he should be feeling the pressure now, for his job.
Yeah.
If I'm his boss, I'm saying, listen, I've backed you. You got the players. There's more coming. We'll
100
probably get
million
Emerson.
pounds spent this summer.
Yeah, we'll probably the fact that we've started the season with essentially same 11 players is a disgrace.
Yeah,
It's an
I mean,
absolute
granted,
disgrace.
granted Aguerd that Moyes can't. I put him aside. But Kerner, well, here you go, perfect example as well. Why the fuck did it take so long, or like why is it that Skamaka or has to be eased into the Premier League, but Kerner gets right away.
Yeah, I suppose Moyes probably felt he was the only one of only two centre backs available to him. Moyes wouldn't have played Kerr if he had another option. If
You're
Ogbonna
probably
had been,
right, but it's just
if
the logic
Ogbonna,
doesn't make sense.
yeah, if Ogbonna or Dawson had been good to go from the start, that's who he would have played. He wouldn't have played Kerr. Now, it might as well tell you he was forced into the Kerr one, and I think that's the case. He wouldn't have played Kerr if he could, unless he absolutely had to, and he absolutely had to today. That's the only reason
Yeah,
we saw Kerr even. He didn't want to play Kerr today, I can guarantee you.
yeah,
So, he's making a rod for his own back. Like the fact that we're still seeing Aaron Cresswell starting this season at left back. We're still seeing Soucek starting alongside this season. Still seeing Antonio starting up front. It's fucking not good enough. We should have a new left back starting. We should
yeah,
have a midfield partner for Rice, who's starting alongside him this season. We should have Skamaka starting up front. We should
yeah,
have an attacking midfielder who has something about him in that number 10 role starting this season.
yeah. And
You know,
with regards to the transfers, though, I mean, Emerson looks cool, and it's going to be fascinating to me because if he comes in, is Moyes going to do the same old, where, he's got to be eased in? This dude has played in Champions League and has been playing Premier League for years. He doesn't need to adjust to the Premier League. Get
he'll
him
just
in.
tell. Oh no,
Get Cresswell the fuck away from this team.
Emerson very likely will sign in the coming week, and I guarantee you he won't start at Villa. David Moyes will have him on the bench,
and it makes
and
no sense.
yeah, and he'll tell us he's not match fit. That's what he'll tell us. Oh, he's fit, but he's not match fit. He can't do 90 minutes.
But
Don't give.
also,
I don't give a
by the
shit,
way, I
David.
don't.
We get 5 subs now. Start him. If he plays 70 minutes, that's okay.
Yeah, and then I just had a look at the schedule too. Not only is it Villa and then Tottenham. After Tottenham, it's away to Chelsea. So scratch the realistic possibility of losing the first 5. There's a realistic possibility of losing the first 6.
Yeah, we could lose our first 6 games.
At
Absolutely.
that point,
Yeah.
At that point, forget top 10, forget Europa League, forget somehow Champions League at this point. We're in a relegation scrap at that point.
Yeah, and it doesn't get easier for the players because the pressure was on a bit today. They would have felt like we have to get out here and get a result, not just to, get this Brighton monkey off our back, but we needed 3 points to get our season up and running.
Even
And I
just
think,
a singular point would have been good.
yeah, and we've been dog shit again and lost again, and now we're going away to Villa, who are not playing well, who are in poor form, and now the pressure is ramped up even more now on Moyes and the players that they're going to have to go to Villa and
Villa's looking at us like, ooh, West Ham is weak. We're playing at home.
They're looking at us thinking, fucking, this is just the game we need.
Exactly. This, like, the alarm bells are starting to ring in my head. They really are. I'm not the type for doom and gloom merchant, but I mean, like, we have to analyze the situation here a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Chris. Like, again, I'm not a reactionary person, and I know teams go through little spells of bad form, but this has been going on long enough now into the second half of last season that if Moyes does,
sorry, go ahead.
If Moyes does lose his first 6 games, I would sack him.
I'd
sack him, and I'd make a
photo. Have to at least be asked.
Yeah, and I'd sack him if we lose our first 6 games. I would sack him, and I'd have Pochettino lined up to come right in straight away.
Yeah, the question would be,
I'd already be talking to Pochettino just in case.
Yeah.
I'd be talking to Pochettino right now, saying, "Listen, things aren't going well here. If this job comes up soon, are you interested?" And if he says yes, I'd be interested in the job. I would give Moyes less time. I would say, in my own head, I'd be thinking, you lose these next 3, you're gone. And I'm bringing Pochettino in. We can't pass a fucking ball, Chris.
No.
Brighton,
we can't
listen.
Pass the ball, we can't defend. We can't. There's no attacking mindset.
Brighton aren't fucking PSG. They're not Man City. They're fucking Brighton. They're a decent side, and that's it. You know, they're a mid-table team. They'll finish around 10th in that ballpark at the end of the season. I know they've had a very good start, but they won't maintain it. They'll have their bad spell as well, and they'll finish around 10th or so.
Yeah,
They're a decent mid-table Premier League team, and they can pass the ball. They looked really good today, knocking the ball about. They know what they're doing. The technical ability is good. Nothing special, but it's good. They can pass. They have good shape to them. They're passing. Their movement off the ball. Their little triangles. Very well drilled, unorganized team who pass the ball about. We can't pass a fucking ball. There's something wrong with the players we've got on the pitch that we can't pass a fucking ball. Something is very, very wrong.
yeah,
And
and
it
it's situations like that where the players can be questioned based on their form on the pitch, but at the exact same time, you look off the pitch, who's running these trainings? Who's coming up with the tactics?
I'm glad
What?
I'm glad you asked that because do you know what I was thinking during the second half of that game?
What's
I was
that?
thinking I was thinking to myself, was this actually Alan Irvine's team? When when Alan Irvine went, it started to go south.
Yeah,
When Alan Irvine
I
left Moyes'
I
side,
didn't even put that thought didn't even cross my head. I didn't even think about
I'm
it.
wondering if it's because Alan Irvine isn't there with Moyes anymore. Since he left, I think it started to go down the fucking pan.
To be fair with that though, going back to your point of it stretching back into last season, we have had one win in the last 10 Premier League matches, which means the end of last season we had one win in 7. So I don't think it's solely on that. I think that you could make a case that it was exhaustion at the end of the season and then it was Alan Irvine this season, but
Yeah. I just I wonder really big time about Alan Irvine.
yeah.
You know, I it's no be putting two and two together and getting five, but I just that question is there in my head. The loss of Alan Irvine, is that what's happened to us? Um, it's ridiculous that we couldn't pass the ball today. And
No, you're completely right.
Antonio scored about 4 goals in his last 32 games now, and
Like it.
still Moyes starts him every single fucking time up top, even though he has a 40 million pound, 45 million pound striker sitting on the bench. He's
Yeah,
making a rod for his own back, and if this continues and he gets the sack, it is absolutely 100% Moyes' own fault.
yeah, going back to the left back position too. With thinking this, wasn't it just this previous week who said in a press conference he wants a left back to challenge for the position? There's not even a guarantee that he brings him starting in. He still might stick with Cresswell, even though Emerson, by all available statistics, all available metrics, is miles better than Cresswell.
Yeah, look, Moyes is just a fucking bizarre man. He's very stubborn. He has his ways of doing things, and it's very hard to shift him off them. Really hard. I'll tell you what, it'll be extremely interesting to see what he does at Villa next week.
Yeah,
That'll be the big thing for me. An hour before kickoff, what team has he got out? What are the 11? You know, formation change would be something he'd do, but essentially have much the same personnel. That's something he has done before, but I want to see personnel changes. I want to see Moyes say, okay, we can't keep doing this. I have to try something, go against even my own better nature, maybe. Change
yeah.
it up.
If he wants to play Antonio, try something new. Put Skamaka on up top with him from the get go.
There's lots he can do.
I mean, that's
Lot.
just that simplistic change will cause so many problems because both of them would complement each other so well. I feel.
I think he's going to switch to 3 centre backs next week and bring on
I think you're
Ogbonna
right.
in.
And
I think he's going to start Ogbonna, Kerr, and Zuma next week and play wing
yeah,
backs. He'll play Cornet maybe on one side and Sufella Johnson on the other, and he'll try something.
I want to bring that up too, but continue.
Yeah, that was more or less done anyway, Chris. I think
Okay.
he'll try
But
that next week.
I'm going to ask you a question too. With how shit Suchek's been lately and Cresswell, kind of flying under the radar how worried I am about Sufal. he does not look up to it anymore. Is that just me?
No, Cefalos had a really bad start to the season. Even like his deliveries today were shockingly bad.
They were awful. They didn't get above. They didn't get above chest level.
Yeah, they hit the first defender, or it was terrible. So I think there's just players here that have to be dropped. It's as simple as that. He can't keep playing Cresswell. He can't keep playing Socek and Sofal and these players. Antonio. Antonio never scores. Why the fuck are you still playing him?
Yeah.
4 goals in his last 32 games. And Moyes just keeps persisting with him. What does he think Antonio's going to do? Score a hat trick? It doesn't. It's not going to happen. Antonio's just plodding around the pitch, not
Yes.
doing anything. Well, they look that way because they're much better drilled.
Yeah, Mark is dead on here though. I mean, they wanted it more. I thought to myself watching that second half of the match, especially after the second one went in, it was very reminiscent of even just a few years ago of the relegation scraps we were in. Just whenever things weren't going our way, it was just body language, heads down, everyone ready to give up, and that was very reminiscent of it. It looked like the players were falling back into that.
The players have lost faith in Moyes. The players know the same fucking thing we know. They're not stupid. They know that. Do you think the players don't know Socek is playing shit and is still starting every week? You think they notice Antonio never scores and yet starts every week? You think they don't notice that Cresswell is past his best and is still there playing every week? You think they don't look around and see the same old players? How do you think the players felt today? Once whenever it was that they knew what the same formation, same starting 11, they're all probably thinking the same thing. Like, how are we supposed to be better and perform better and do better when the manager is just doing the same thing every fucking week? It doesn't fill you with confidence. I think the players have
No,
lost confidence in Moyes and a bit in themselves and in what they're doing.
yeah. I
He
mean,
was
it's plain to see that. I mean, this team is not up for it right now, and it just does not make sense to me. It looks like we're still at the start of preseason. It really does.
Yeah, we need this lad in. It's a attacking midfielder that we're linked with.
Oh, from Flamengo.
No, that's a fucking
Oh
who knows what
no. The one from Club Bruges.
from
Uh,
Bruges.
yeah,
Um,
Hans, what his name is.
yeah, we need Vanaken. Yeah,
Something along those
yeah,
lines.
Vanaken. We need to get him in this coming week, and we need to
Yeah.
get Emerson in, and
So
we
yeah,
need to.
with Hans, actually, I saw on Twitter he actually started for Club Bruges today, and the fans were actually chanting, "Please don't!" Basically, along the lines of, "Please don't leave us, Hans."
He will. Um,
Yeah.
sorry, Bruce fans. He will. Um,
For any Bruges fans in the chat.
yeah, if we need to step this up big time now.
Yeah,
Like
we need
right
it. We
away,
need it
get
in
Vanaken in,
tomorrow.
get Emerson in, and I don't mean next Friday. I mean have them in
If I'm
when
Newman, I pick
choose.
up the phone today and like, all right, let's get this
Yes,
going.
I'm up in my office right now. If I'm whoever it
Yeah.
is dealing with this,
Screw a peaceful Sunday afternoon. I'm going to work.
yeah, fuck this. I'm calling my wife saying I'm going to be late home. Um,
I mean, we only have
if I'm
what
Rob Newman,
nine more
yeah,
days in the transfer window.
yeah, and I'm getting on to Chelsea, and I'm getting on to Bruges, and I'm getting these fucking players in. I'm getting this deal done. I want them signed and holding the shirt on Tuesday. You know, and getting
Matthew,
into the
I will
training
say
ground.
I don't disagree with you on this. The problem that like teams like West Ham, especially this kind of situation right now, like it's like a player like Hans. This is his last opportunity. He said to make the jump to the Premier League. Basically, if he comes here and is incredible, but West Ham goes down, at least he's got a stepping stone. So I think that players are still inclined because they can showcase themselves off their Premier League talent, playing in the Premier League.
Yeah, we're not going down.
I don't think so. I'm giving the example.
Yeah. But no, like Vanaken and Emerson will sign, no problem.
Yeah.
So we need to get them in, and then next week I want to see, even if the formation stays the same, I want to see a totally different team.
I agree.
I
I
I want to see Emerson instead of Cresswell. I want to see anybody, frankly, instead of Socek. Put Flynn Downs in there. You think Flynn Downs can't play
at
against
this
Villa
point, yeah.
or
At this
Brighton?
point, I'd put Areola in for Suchek.
Flynn Downs could have played today, no problem. He could have played against Forest, no problem. He can play next week against Villa, no problem. He's more than capable of playing against those sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely capable of it. I would have him. I would start Skamaka. I would start Vernaken if he's, given that these two lads are in, you know.
Yeah.
Um, we've got to change it up. We have
I'd
to.
get Cornet in there too.
Yeah, give Corney a game. Let's go up there at Villa and change it around. At least show our players right. You're not doing it, so you can
Yeah.
take a fucking seat.
Yeah, the players that have kind of been skating by for at least the first 3 matches. Like I love Owen. Did he really make an impact today? I don't think I really heard his name more than once or twice.
No, I
Like,
think it's just a general malaise in the whole team at the moment. And the only way Moyes can snap them out of it is by doing what he should have done already, certainly today, and change it up. Get these
yeah,
new players in there, freshen it up, do something a bit different. I mean, like, our passing is fucking shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And we're hoofing balls forward for Antonio.
that's the other thing. It seems like the strategy is just long and hopefully someone lands on the other end of it.
Yeah, and like, it was only
That
2
was like a core tenet of our strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it was only 2-0 today. It could have been worse.
It should have.
It
It
really could.
easily could have.
Solly March at the far post in the second half.
Yeah,
A cross came in. He was all on his own. Literally just had to head it in, and he headed it wide of the near post. It was a really shocking miss from him. But that should have been 3-0.
yeah.
So Moyes is going to have to fucking bite the bullet now, because I think at this point, while I don't think the board are maybe talking out loud about giving him the sack, I think they are concerned.
The question's lingering in the back of the mind, and it has to be after a start of the season like this.
The really worrying thing is I think Rice looks like a player who's completely fed up with it now.
Yeah, I've seen potential rumors that Real Madrid are interested, and so I mean, we have 9 days. I think that Villa match is going to be kind of telling
I
because
actually, yeah. I tweeted a couple of
yeah,
days ago. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, that because Casemiro is
yeah,
gone to
Casemiro's
United,
now
and
United.
Real Madrid we were told by certain sources previously that Real Madrid had an interest in Declan Rice. So I'm wondering if we could lose him now, if a bid is coming
Yeah,
from Real
if
Madrid.
if we lose against Villa, I would not be surprised in the slightest.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Real Madrid are interested, they'll bid regardless. They don't care about our results. But if
Well, no, but it's Rice that'll say, "I want to go."
oh no, if Real Madrid comes in, he's gone. I mean, who wouldn't want to go from West Ham to Real Madrid? Like,
Sure.
that's an ambitious young player, and Rice looked so fed up, and I don't blame
Yeah.
him, because I'm fucking fed up. I think the whole fan base is, and Moyes is doing this to himself, and he's doing it to the players. I
Yeah.
think our performances reflect the players feeling the same way that we do, that this is completely stale, and has gone off the boil. And still, Moyes does the same old things, same formation. I was watching the match preview on Hammer's chat earlier, and that was what I said when I saw, because they do the announce the lineup.
Yeah.
So I put in the comment section and the live chat on Hammer's chat earlier that we're going to lose because Moyes has basically done the same thing he always does against Brighton. Same formation, same tactics, same players. So we're going to get the same results. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. So this is all on Moyes, I'm afraid. And I don't know, what does it take for him? What does it take for him to realize, that he has to do something?
I it should have been done after last week, but here we are again.
Yeah, it's he's got a striker sitting on the bench who scores goals, but he wants to play a striker who doesn't. What
Yeah,
what can
but
you
he
what can
but
you
he can
say to that?
run.
Yeah, but he runs a lot and he bumps into a lot of people, and like I'm just at the end of my tether with Moyes. He's absolutely infuriating. Absolutely
Yeah.
infuriating. He's utter stubbornness.
And you're exactly right on that. He's one of those managers that it's just the same every week in, week out. So when you're winning, it's easy to to overlook it and be fine with it. But when it starts getting into this and it starts getting stale and it loss after loss and all these performances are piling up, it's like, okay, we can't question it anymore. It's like, why are you not trying something?
Yeah. Do you know what my 11 was for today?
What's that?
Compared to my, I had Areola in goal. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
If the keeper isn't a hill I'm willing to die on.
yeah,
If it's
fair enough.
Fabianski, fine, whatever. I did have Cresswell at left back because at the moment we fucking have to. It's
Fair.
all we fucking got. And I had Sofel on the right, but today would have been his last game for me. I'd have him drop now for the Villa game because his
Yeah,
form
I'd be more than
is not
fine
good.
with Johnson sliding in
Yeah,
there.
and I did have Zuma and Kerr in the middle because again, not much options.
It's
But
only
but I
defensive
had
options.
yeah, but ahead of that, I had Flynn Downs beside Rice.
Yeah,
Flynn would have put in a fucking shift today. He would have put himself about, put some tackles in. You know,
I agree.
Brighton players something to think about. And then the three ahead of that, I had Bowen on the right and I had Benny in the number 10 with Cornet on the left. Again, give him something to think about. We've got real pace there and skill. And then I had
Yeah,
Skamaka up top, someone who scores goals,
and
big
that's
6
a
or
great
5,
starting 11.
can
That's a
challenge dunk
great.
in the air. You
I
know,
mean,
that's, West Ham players, they see that, they think, oh, okay.
yeah,
This is all right. We've got, some new players in here. We've got Kerrer and Downs and Skamaka and Cornet all starting. This is a bit different.
I wholeheartedly agree with this, Matthew. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, ideally that would happen, but I don't see it happening. Yeah, I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be signing Broja in this window. When we'll be able to sign him, I don't know.
The
But
problem is if we keep going, if we're trending at the pace we are right now, we're gonna have a different manager. Probably gonna have a different manager in January who might not
yeah.
be interested in Broja.
But if you look at our squad, Chris, and let's say we get in, I think Emerson will happen in the next
No,
few days.
I think
Um,
Emerson will happen too. I think that's almost nearly a done deal.
yeah. And hopefully Van Aken will happen during the week. So if we say
Yeah,
before the window closes, we get Van Aken, we get Emerson, maybe we get this kid from Palmeiras. Is it Palmeiras? Is that
Flamengo. I thought it was.
Flamengo? Is it
I
okay?
could be wrong. The six
Let's see.
million pound Brazilian, yeah, that we bid for.
Now imagine what Graham Potter would do with that squad. Imagine what that's a fucking like. We get in Emerson and Van Aken, and say, let's say that's it. Imagine with that squad what someone like Graham Potter would do with it.
Yeah,
The way he's got Brighton playing and organised. We have a much better
yeah.
squad than Brighton.
Hell, isn't Sean Dyche even available? I don't think he's coaching this year, is
Oh,
he?
I don't ever want to see Dyche ball at West Ham. I just don't
I'm
think
just
so.
saying. I'm just saying. I mean, he did well with limited resources at
He
Burnley.
did well with Brighton. He cut his cloth accordingly, but he has a certain style of play that I just don't want to watch.
Fair enough.
Not my kind of manager, I'm afraid. But just imagine what Potter would do with that squad, that West Ham
Well,
squad.
Pochettino, even Pochettino.
Get Pochettino in. He's had a little break now. I'm sure he's mad to get back in. So yeah, if we could get
Yes,
Pochettino in, like
Matthew.
to be honest,
Yes.
like I'll be honest with you, like if I'd be phoning Pochettino, and if he said yeah, I'd take the West Ham job. I would
That.
seriously consider making a change right now. And I'm
Yeah.
not
I mean,
kidding. I'm not kidding. Like Pochettino is a really good manager. I wouldn't even judge him on PSG. That whole place is a fucking shit show.
yeah. That job's nothing but
Like
landmines.
Pochettino was absolutely tremendous manager at Southampton. Did a great job at Tottenham. So what
With limited
Pochettino might do
resources
with
again too.
so what Pochettino could do with this group of players, So yeah, and I'm not saying I'm Moyes out. I'm not going to be on Twitter saying sack him,
Yeah. No.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
yet, but he's on a short rope now. He's on a
He's
short
on a
rope.
very short leash. He's
Yeah.
very short with me. And
So
one of the easiest ways to get back in it is, or in good graces is change it up for the Villa match, and then
I won't
um,
lie. If he goes to Villa next week with the same fucking team and we lose, I would sack him. I
I
hand on
agree.
heart would
I
sack
agree.
him.
I
I'd
as
say,
much as
listen,
I love Moyes for the performances the past couple of years, but that's what I would do. I
yeah,
don't know how the rest of the chat feels.
yeah.
It'd be
Because if he
interesting
does
if
it,
you guys
yeah,
want
because
to weigh in.
if he does it again, he's learning absolutely nothing.
No, and
If he insists on flogging a dead horse, then he's gonna have to go. It's
yeah,
as simple as that.
I mean and that's what's frustrating. Take away the defense just because we have some injuries and we got some new players coming in and everything like that. On paper, this is a quality side. This
Yeah,
is a very good side. But
yeah.
it's just we need the manager to take it. And if Moyes is not willing to change, he's not willing to try some new tactics, not willing to players out, and he doesn't deserve to be in the job.
No, if he can't learn and change things up so that he can turn the fortunes of the team around, he doesn't deserve to stay in the job.
Yeah,
Frankly, it's all right when things are going well. Then you can praise the manager. Okay, everything's going well. This is great. But when a manager really earns his corn is when it goes wrong. That's when a
yeah,
manager shows what he's made of, what he's really made of. When it goes wrong and he shows, okay, I can turn this around. I can make decisions, change things up. We're going to switch this, we're going to switch that. Whatever it is he thinks is the right thing to do to change it and improve our fortunes. And right now, you would have to say Moyes appears incapable of doing it.
yeah. Completely agree.
The fact he put
I
that team out today is shocking to me. And like I said, I knew he was going to do it. I called that we were going to lose before we ever saw the team or formation. I said we're going to lose because Moyes is going to do exactly what we all know he's going to do and what Graham Potter knows he's going to do. And then he did.
yeah.
Um,
Honestly, right now it seems like the for the graphics team for West Ham, it's just the same old, or it's just this it's carbon copy and it's drop down menus in each position in case someone gets hurt one week.
yeah,
It's it's mind boggling.
yeah. Also, if there's any questions in the chat,
Yeah,
we have a live chat going there. So anyone has any questions, fire them in and we'll answer them.
yeah. We'll wrap it up here in a few minutes, but yeah, if anyone has any questions, then feel free to put it in the chat. But yeah, so let me get your predictions then for next week, both formation, any changes, or score.
Oh, Jesus. I think what will happen? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's possible, Matthew. Yeah. I think he'll make some changes for Villa. Now, Moyes will still be relatively cautious, but I think he might switch the formation up next week. I think
we
Ogbonna
can
will
try.
be. Yeah, I think Ogbonna will be healthy enough to start next week, and so we'll be up to three centre backs, and so I think he'll use three. I think he'll use three. I think he'll switch to three centre backs. We play with wing backs. He probably will bring in a couple of players, but it's hard to know with Moyes. He's so fucking stubborn.
Yeah.
It's hard to know with him. We know what he should do, but whether Moyes will do it or not remains to be seen. Antonio seems to be his fucking love child. He'll probably start Antonio up top again. He'll probably start Cresswell again. He'll start Socek
Yeah.
again.
The Socek's
Sofel will
one,
play
Socek
again.
one is the one that's pissing me off the most now because how
Yeah,
how can you not like use your own eyes and see how bad Socek is?
yeah. Socek is the
He must
poster
just do
child for
incredible on the training pitch. He just must do incredible on the training pitch to warrant it. But really
yeah.
quickly too, I'm curious about this. John, I'm kind of curious just because I haven't seen anyone blaming GSB.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen
We're
that, to
not
be honest.
here.
I
We're
think
not
John.
gonna take
Yeah,
a but
I think John. If you were to go on Twitter right now, you won't see anything about GSP. It will be Moyes, 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 Moyes. I guarantee you.
and just the players in general. I've seen a
Yeah,
lot of holy
but
shit. The players are shocking.
yeah, I was going to say, look, Souček is the poster child for Moyes' stubbornness. I don't know if it's stubbornness or just blindness. Is it just blindness? Does he not realize how bad Souček is playing? Does he not
I,
see it? Does he think does Moyes actually think Souček's playing all right?
he has
I
to.
have to wonder.
That, or like I said, he must do just absolutely incredible on the training pitch after an awful performance like this. And Morris is like, okay, I'll give you another shot. Wait, you were shit in the match. Okay, let's see how you do in training this week. Oh, you were good. All right, I'll give you another shot, and the cycle continues.
Does Moyes think Antonio's bringing a lot to the team? I mean, is Moyes a fucking passion merchant? Is Moyes like, oh, if you're running an awful lot, I'll play you. If you run a lot and you work hard and you get about, and I notice you getting about, I'll put you in. Is that his fucking philosophy here?
Not
I don't
yet,
know what to make
Hammerhead,
of it.
but close. Not yet, but close.
Yeah, well, like I say, Hammerhead, you won't be the only one calling for his head right now. And I'm not far behind. I'm not there yet. Um,
I'm
but
getting there. I'm
if we're
walking to the cliff.
like I said, if we're dog shit next Sunday at Villa Park and we lose, I think that's going
Yeah.
to be the breaking point for me where I'm going to say, okay, he's got to go. And I would be talking to Pochettino this week just in case, just to sound him out and say, look, we've got a really nice squad of players here. You know, you can take this team into Europe, no problem. You know, you come and do a good job, and there's nothing else on for Pochettino right now. There is no other job right there right now for Pochettino. It's the Premier League. He's familiar with it. He likes the Premier League, and
It's
it's a
London.
possibility.
He knows London.
Yeah, he knows London. You know, so I'd be talking to Pochettino right now. I won't lie.
And that's what's
And to
funny
be
is I
honest,
think that I think there's a decent chance of that. But they also offer European football.
yeah, and to be honest, if Pochettino said, "Yeah, I'll take the job,"
Bye, Moyes.
that may well be tempting enough. I think it probably would be
Yeah.
tempting
At this
enough
point, bye,
for me
Moyes.
to, yeah, at this point to just give Moyes the bullet and have Pochettino in place like Monday. What's today? Sunday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah, I
Pochettino
would at
in
least
signed up
reach out.
Tuesday.
I mean, inquiring never hurts. And then you cover all your bases. So that way, if the day comes to pass, then you can do it no problem without having to worry about if there's any or any sort of lagging indicators or any
Yeah,
sort of performances, having to worry about a caretaker manager until you find the right person. If you got the
yeah,
guy lined up, get him in.
yeah, and even if
There's
Pochettino,
no reason to waste potentially losing 6 straight matches before bringing him in. If we get to that point, Pochettino might look at it and go, I don't know about this. I don't know if I.
yeah, well, yeah, maybe, but you know, if we lose the first 6, we are so
If we
far
lose the
behind
first
the
6,
ball.
I'm 100% Moyes out. 100%.
Oh yeah, there would be no excuse for that. Um, and again, I'm not one. If it was like I wouldn't say this if it was just the first 6 games this season, but this is going back a while now. This is going
Yeah.
back. If I am correct, I think we're at the moment we're winning around 1 in 3 games. So I think we've won 9 of our last 27, something like that.
How far
So
off
this,
there?
yeah, so this has been going on for a while now. The fact that Moyes is doing the same old thing with the same old players is inexcusable, and that is a
Yeah,
sackable offence if
absolutely.
we keep losing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I completely agree. Listen, like I said, we have Vibe over on Thursday. Hopefully, we can get that done and dusted and officially into Europa Conference League for the season. Get
yeah,
us at least something to look forward to. But next week we have Villa next Sunday, and then we'll see where we go from there. I want to thank everyone for joining us in the chat again. The greatest start of the season, but we enjoy doing these. We enjoy interacting with you guys. We enjoy being able to vent our frustrations just the same as you guys in the chat. So I don't know if you have any final words here, Tommy.
no, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we have. for one, as much as I'm pissed off still, I feel a little bit better. I'm ready for next week already. So again, thank you for everyone for joining us in the chat. We will be back here next Sunday, unless somehow I can find a stream for the match on Thursday. If that's the case, then we'll try and out on Thursday as well. Until next Sunday for sure, though. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.